If you're a Justin Fields truther, then like this video because you guys know by now I am a Justin Fields truther. And on today's show, we're going to break down 5 different reasons why you should believe in the Chicago Bears quarterback. If you already believe in him, all you got to do is hit that thumbs up icon. Today's episode of Chicago Bears Now is presented by Manscaped. Get the best men's grooming products on the planet for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. You plug in the promo code BEARS20, you're going to get that 20% off plus free shipping. Stay nice and clean like Justin Fields and get the Lawnmower 4.0 today at manscaped.com. All right, 5 reasons to believe in Justin Fields. Look, we've outlined it a lot. Last year was kind of a lost year playing under Matt Nagy, but certainly got some experience, showed some highs, had several lows, but it's year 2 now, new scheme. Here's 5 reasons why you should believe in this young quarterback. All right, number 1, incredible work ethic. Justin Fields is a relentless and tireless worker. We've heard it all off season. We've seen it all off season. Him and Darnell Mooney were getting work in Georgia. Cole Kmet was working with him too. And then all his teammates and coaches talk about it. He is a first in, last to leave guy. Remember that garbage report heading into the draft from Dan Orlovsky? Oh, I hear from a source inside Ohio State that, he's a last one in, first to leave type of guy. There's been no evidence of that in his 2 years here, at least year and a half now, whatever you want to call it. Last year's a rookie, and this year, players and coaches have lauded his work ethic. Eberflus has talked about it. Getsy has talked about it. Darnell Mooney has talked about how they've been pushing each other about being the last one in the weight room on off days and stuff like that, getting in work on off days. Look, we don't know if Justin Fields is going to work out or not, but it won't be for a lack of trying. This guy is putting in the work. He's working on his mechanics this offseason tirelessly, so you don't have to worry about that. This is not a Jamarcus Russell situation where the work is not being put in. That is not the case. Number 2, he's a natural-born leader. Ryan Day talked about this when he was at Ohio State, his former college coach. Fields has even kind of talked about how it was awkward and uncomfortable for him last year because he got drafted in the first round and he's been so used to being the guy and being that leader. He felt like he couldn't do that with Andy Dalton still on the roster and being named the starter. You can't lead that much if you're not starting. Says he's more comfortable this year being that leader, being that guy that players want to look up to. And you can tell that is something that happens. Players gravitate toward this guy. You can hear it based on how they talk about it. I mean, a guy like Ryan Griffin, a veteran tight end who's been in this league for several years, says, yeah, that's our guy. That's the leader of this football team. That means something, okay? He is evolving into this team's leader. He's a natural-born leader. It's not difficult for him to lead. There's a lot of great athletes that don't have great leadership skills. I don't think that's an issue with Justin Fields. I think people can rally around him. He can be that guy that picks teammates up. All right, I was just feeling it. Sometimes I'm just sitting at home and I just start thinking FGB. And then my wife's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, fuck the Packers. That's what I'm talking about. So if you can't stand the Packers, type FGB in the comments down below. No one likes Green Bay. Get the FGBs rolling. All right, Manscaped. Appreciate those guys for sponsoring today's show. The best men's grooming products out there. Aaron Rodgers ain't going to Manscaped. It's just an absolute bush downstairs for him. Don't be like that. Clean the bush up with the Lawnmower 4.0. You can get 20% off plus free shipping when you head over to manscaped.com. Use promo code BEARS20. Look at this thing. Look how efficient the lawnmower is. You got bush? Well, guess what? Not anymore, because the lawnmower cleans it up with that advanced skincare technology. You're going to avoid those cuts, those burns after you shave sometimes. I tried a bunch of different products before Manscaped, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to have a bush, because I'd rather have a bush than not be feeling nice down there. But now that's no longer the case when I shave. Shout out to Manscaped. 20% off plus free shipping. Manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20. Check the comments, check the description. The link and the promo code are in there. Okay, next up, why to believe in Fields. The physical tools are there. So, Harrison, well, his work ethic doesn't matter if he can't do this. Well, he can make all the throws. He can move around. His physical tools are exactly what you want. He's 6'3", 230 pounds, runs like a receiver, and is built like a linebacker. I mean, he can do it all. He can make all the throws. He can change the arm angle. The deep ball, I think, is one of the best in the NFL. Advanced metrics will tell you last year he was a well above deep ball thrower in the National Football League. It's just dumbass Matt Nagy didn't do it enough, didn't have him do it enough, and didn't have play action enough, that's for sure. He's been tightening the release as well. You can see on this next photo him winding up for a deep ball. That's dropping it in the bucket, baby, as well. So he can do all that. We know about the mobility. Justin Fields is an absolute weapon when he's using his legs to run around and scramble, but to also get on the edge and throw the football downfield. We got to see more of that this year, which we'll talk about in our next point. But remember that game against the Niners? He had several strong scrambles, especially that crazy one on 4th down where he reversed field, had a couple of spin moves, and scored a key touchdown in that game to give the Bears a chance. So he did that. You get him on the edge, you can throw on the run. So the physical tools are absolutely there. Now, you can't just have a strong arm and be able to run and say, yeah, I can play quarterback. There's a lot more that goes into it, but he is capable. That's the point I am making. He won't not make it because he lacks arm strength or something like that. All that stuff is there for Justin Fields. Hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. When Bears news drops, we will have you covered with the latest Chicago Bears news and rumors. So go ahead and subscribe, youtube.com/BearsNow. Hit that subscribe button, and we will continue to bring you the latest headlines around this football team. All right, two more points here. This new system, at least what we're hearing about it and what it's supposed to look like, should fit him very, very well in terms of his skill set. That Shanahan zone, kind of wide zone running scheme, get the run game going, and then a lot of play action, which is what suits Fields. He is a great play action quarterback, and I expect a lot of that this year, and I expect to get Fields on the move. Get him on the move and let him shine. I'm not saying every play needs to be kind of a street ball type of play where it's like, hey, if it breaks down, just do something crazy. But he can do that as well. I feel like Nagy's offense was just like too stiff, right? We're like, all right, you got to do a 5-step drop here, get the ball there, this and that. Like, sometimes you just got to let an athlete make a play. And Justin Fields can do a lot of that for you as a runner and as a play-action quarterback. If something breaks down, he can make something happen for you. So I'm excited to see that happen. I think Luke Getsy will put him in spots to succeed. Now it's up to Getsy actually being a good play caller. I think the system will be in place. Can he call the right plays at the right time? And can Justin Fields execute those plays? Obviously, that's going to be critical to this team's success. Do you trust Luke Getsy? Type T for trust, type D for don't, type IDK for I don't know yet, because we haven't seen him call a play yet for the Chicago Bears. All right, last point is the Bears themselves believe in him. Regardless of this national media narrative of they haven't done enough, that means they don't believe in him. They're tanking to get a quarterback next year. I mean, we've heard it all this offseason. The Bears themselves have raved about Justin Fields in terms of his work ethic, which we talked about, his improvements, mechanics, we referred to that, his ability to lead, we talked about that as well. You hear Matt Eberflus, you hear Luke Getsy, you hear his teammates, you hear Ryan Poles, they all believe in him. So it's one of two things. One, they're either lying to just create positive energy around the Bears, which, sure, teams play the PR game, but for a new regime to come in here, hey, let's conspire and just tell everybody we believe in Fields. We really don't. We're going to tank and draft Bryce Young next year. I don't see that's not the case here. Or number two, they're actually fired up about him, which is what I think is happening here. I think they're excited about his potential. They're excited to see what he can do. They've seen a lot of that this offseason. Now it's about putting it all together, continue to install the offense, and go make some plays and go play some football here in the next month and a half. All right, so there you go. 5 reasons why you should believe in Justin Fields as the Chicago Bears quarterback. Now, the question is, will Fields pan out as the Bears franchise quarterback? Like, is he going to be here for the next decade and ball out for the Bears? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I think we certainly all hope so at the end of the day. Hit that subscribe button because speaking of Fields making plays, we do live watch parties every single Sunday in the fall. We'll have a live scoreboard up. I'm doing play-by-play, and we have a lot of fun during those. So subscribe because football season's almost here, and we'll have some live watch parties.